What's up YouTube? Capital G here, talking about the brand new Machina structure deck that just got announced. You guys know Konami just started revealing cards from the new Rebirth of Shadow or Shadow Showdown structure deck that's going to be released next. Well, Konami is already planning the structure deck after that, and in the TCG it's a little wild because we got to get the Shadow structure deck, we got to get the Warrior structure deck, but I digress. Machinas are getting a structure deck, and it's going to be called Machiner's Command. Now, Machiners is just the name for Machina in the OCG, so I assume maybe it could be called like Machina Command in the TCG or Machina's Command, etc., etc. Anyways, this product is going to be released February 22nd in the OCG, so I think that there's a legitimate shot that we could see this before the NAWCQ and kind of like national season ends for next year. Like you Europeans out there, you might be able to play this at the European Championship, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm more excited about this than I actually am the Shadow structure deck, and that might sound kind of crazy. People might be like, come on, Cap G, Shadows were super competitive and awesome. How could you not want a Shadow structure deck? It's not about Shadows. It's just that I've played Machinas at, competitive events before, regionals, so on and so forth. They are a super fun deck. And for people who don't know that much about Machinas, pretty much the second that the Machina Mayhem structure deck came out, they were instantly competitive on the YCS or Shonen Jump level and the regional level. They were getting tops. They were getting it in. They were basically like a tier 1.5-ish deck. The biggest Achilles heel with Machinas was the fact that they didn't really have enough good cards to kind of support the deck being ran as kind of like a pure Machina deck. You can go back and search through all the regionals and all the Shonen Jump history. You'll never really find just a pure Machina deck that ever did anything significant. People usually ran Machinas with like gadgets because they were all machine based. You could pitch the gadgets to summon things like Fortress, and then a little later during the 5Ds era, Jeff Jones kind of came up with this crazy Machina Karakuri plant deck, which I actually played his deck almost card for card, ended up getting 9th place at a regionals. That deck was super fun because it was like a machine deck, but you could also synchro summon, and it was just kind of wild, all the crazy stuff that you can do. But another reason I'm pretty excited about the Machina structure deck is this will be legacy support that really won't be defined by getting like a strong link monster. You guys know that Konami can give out very strong legacy support to certain archetypes, and usually if the archetype doesn't get a strong link monster, a lot of times it doesn't end up mattering all that much, not from a competitive standpoint. But the great thing about Machina is, despite the fact that they're from the 5Ds era, these guys are not actually synchro based. They don't have any extra deck cards. Basically, it was, a lot of times, especially with the gadgets, just used as a control slash kind of beat down type deck. And I feel like they still have a good fundamental core. You look at a card like Machina Gear Frame, this is still a good card by today's standards. Fortress is still really solid. I would think that Mega Form, I think, is the level 8 that came out in New Challengers. That card is decent, but like they still have about 3 or 4 solid monsters by today's standards. Now, I do think that they need some like spells and traps because I think they have one spell. It's terrible. I don't even remember what it does, but for the most part, this archetype really just kind of has like monsters that are noteworthy, and the monsters that people run, the good ones, is about 3 or 4 of them. So whatever you guys think about the new Machina structure deck, let me know in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to it? I definitely am. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.